Hello, this is Patrick, and in this video, I'll be talking about speech structures, and more specifically, I'll be talking about tags, which are used to create POMPs, ROMPS, and transitions. So let's jump right in. First, tags. Tags are when you take your main points and you put the main points into a very short phrase, usually one or maybe two words, so very, very, very short. These tags will be used extensively throughout your speech. To find the tags, what you're doing is you're going to look for the differences between your main points. So let's do some tagging practice, and we'll jump right in with this first one. Our two main points that we're going to use here are Burger King French fries are the crispiest, and Burger King French fries are perfectly salted. For this one, I would choose, for the first tag, crispiness. And the second one, I would choose saltiness. So it's not exactly the words that are in the main points, but they're very similar. So again, my tags will be crispiness and saltiness. For this next one, I want you to try it on your own. There are several problems with global warming. There are several solutions to global warming. Go ahead and pause the video and think of which of the words here are going to be tags. So this one hopefully was kind of obvious to you. Your tags for this would be problems and solutions. It's the two words that are different in these two sentences. The next one is going to be for gardens. The planning stage comes first. The execution stage comes next. So again, pause the video and come up with your tags for this one. Now, hopefully, the tags you came up with are planning and execution. If you said first and next, that wouldn't be the best answer because those aren't very descriptive tags. So planning and execution are your best tags here. Let's do one more. Disney World has many rides. Disney World has many shows. Disney World has many food options. Go ahead and pause the video and again, come up with some tags. Again, hopefully this was fairly easy for you. Your three tags would be rides, shows, and food. I would leave the word options off altogether. The shortest possible way to say it is what you want to do when you are tagging your main points. So what are we going to do with all these tags, you're probably wondering? There's actually several places in our speech where we're going to use tags. The first is the POMPs and the ROMPS. What do those stand for? POMP stands for preview of main points, and ROMP stands for review of main points. The POMPs go into your introductions, and the ROMPs go into your conclusions. So again, preview of main points and review of main points. So the first thing you're going to do is to tag your main points. You're going to put those tags into one sentence. That one sentence will be a preview or a review of main points. The only difference between a POMP and a ROMP is going to be the tense of the verb. In a POMP, it will be future tense because it's going to be what's coming up. In a ROMP, it's going to be past tense because it's what's already happened. So let's again do some POMP and ROMP practice. Burger King French fries are the crispiest. Burger King French fries are perfectly salted. My POMP would be, today we're going to talk about the crispiness and the saltiness of Burger King fries. My ROMP would sound almost exactly the same. Today we talked about the crispiness and the saltiness of Burger King fries. All right, let's do another one, but this time pause the video and see if you can figure this out. There are several problems with global warming. There are several solutions to global warming. Go ahead and pause your video and see if you can figure this one out. So hopefully what you came up with is today we're going to talk about the problems and solutions related to global warming. If you were doing a ROMP, the review of main points, you would say today we talked about the problems and solutions of global warming. Let's do another one. Again, this is relating to gardens. The planning stage comes first. The execution stage comes next. Go ahead and pause your video and come up with this. So this is what your preview of main points would sound like. Today we'll discuss the planning and the execution to making a garden. And your ROMP, the review of main points, would sound like this. Today we talked about the planning and execution stages of making a garden. Let's try one more. Disney World has many rides. Disney World has many shows. Disney World has many food options. Again, pause the video, come up with your POMPs and ROMPS. So again, the POMP here would be, today we're going to discuss the rides, shows, and food offered at Disney World. And your ROMP would sound like this. Today we discussed the rides, shows, and food at Disney World. And you can see how it comes out pretty easily once you have the tags down. The last thing we're going to do with our tags is to create transitions. We're going to use the tags and the transitions. And in our transition, we're going to say what we just covered and what we're about to cover in a full and complete sentence. Now, there are things called signposts. Signposts are just one single word that moves us through a speech. These words might include next, or first, or alternately. These are words that kind of signal that we're moving through the speech in some way. Next, first, last. These are all words that we will use to signal that we're moving, but these are not transitions. They're just signpost words. A transition will be a full sentence in which you say what you just said and then say what you're about to say. So let's do some practice once more. So we came up with the tags for crispiness and saltiness here. So our transition would sound like this. Now that we've discussed the crispiness of Burger King fries, we can move on to their saltiness. So what we did is we just took the tags and we moved from one main point to the other. Let's try another one. We have the global warming one here. Go ahead and pause the video and try to figure out what your transition would be. Actually write down the transition on your piece of paper just to see what it sounds like. Go ahead and pause the video. So hopefully what you wrote is something like this. Having discussed the problems of global warming, we can move into the solutions. When we're doing these transitions, we really only want to say the topic once. Another way you might have written this is, now that we talked about the problems of global warming, we'll move into the solutions of global warming. But do you see how that sounds kind of clunky and you're saying extra words that you don't need to say? That's something you want to avoid. Let's do another one. Again, this is for gardening. Go ahead and pause the video and come up with your transition. Hopefully what you came up with was, now that we've discussed planning our garden, we can move into executing it. And just one more. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one out. Now for this one, there's going to be two transitions. I don't know if you picked up on that, but this was a little tricky. So you're going to have a transition between the first and second main point, as well as a transition between the second and third main point. Here's how these transitions might sound. So we've covered the rides at Disney World. Now let's talk about the shows. So now that we've covered the shows, let's discuss the food at Disney World. And that's how we're going to do our transitions. So that was a long video. I hope you stuck with it. I hope that was all very helpful for you. The next thing we're going to talk about in the next video will be AGDs and closers. So I look forward to seeing you in that video.